What's up everyone, and welcome on back for another video here on my channel. Within today's video, we are going to be getting into a spending vlog. I know that these videos come highly requested and that you guys always enjoy them, so I try to make them when I can. But if this happens to be your first time stopping by on the channel, hello, my name is Monet. I am 28 years old, and here on this channel, I am typically documenting my financial journey. I share how I use the cash envelope method, and I've shown how I've gotten myself out of debt using the debt snowball. So if you're interested in that type of content, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and join the family, and make sure you hit the bell so that you are always notified whenever I upload my next video. As for today's video, when it comes to my spending vlogs, what I like to do is document my spending within a week and showcase how the cash envelope method can be used in everyday life. Normally, I like to start my spending on Friday, so that is what we are doing today, and I am just getting myself dressed and getting ready for the day. But I just wanted to come on and introduce the video, and as the day progresses, I will come back and share with you guys on what I spend. So once I was ready to go, I went ahead and headed out the door, and as I said, today was Friday, so my first stop was going to the bank and getting some cash for my cash stuffing. Once I was done with the bank, given that it was so hot, of course I had to treat myself to some breakfast, so I made my stop at Dunkin', which we know is just a normal routine for myself.
Thank you for choosing Dunkin'. How may I help you?
Hi, yes, may I have one medium-sized mango pineapple lemonade refresher? And then one sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant. And that's it.
All right, nice work around.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And once I was done with that, I went straight home afterwards because I had some orders to work on. And for the rest of the night, I didn't do anything else. And my cousin and I just sat back and caught up on some Love Island. The next day, I did wake up early to assist my cousin. I was accompanying her as she went to various stores. She is a teacher, so she was just prepping for back to school season. And of course, in the midst of all of our trips, I had to stop and get some breakfast. So we did another Dunkin' stop because I have a problem. And then throughout the day, we just stopped at various stores, and I didn't really spend anything. I bought a few things for the shop, but nothing for me to document within my spending for today. After being out all day, we did stop to get some dinner, and then we called it a night and wrapped it up with once again watching some Love Island. Now we can move into Monday because Sunday was a no spend day, so there was nothing to document. And on this week was when I was dealing with my car. So I did drop my car off at the shop earlier in the morning, and then in the afternoon my cousin and I were already out, so we went ahead and grabbed some lunch. And then on the way home, we did stop at Publix because I needed to get my juice. I cannot survive without this in this heat. And after today, that was all I did for spending. Moving into Tuesday, we are waking up early once again. I am on the way to pick up my car from the repair shop, and on the way I did make a purchase online. I paid for some parking for an upcoming concert that I will be attending. Once I got my car back, I did make a pit stop to get some breakfast at McDonald's, as we can see, because after this I was going to Sam's Club. I first stopped and got some gas, but then I also had to get my tires replaced. So while they worked on that, I ate my breakfast, and honestly, I was already through with my car because it already took so much money and it was still only the morning. So after the morning with my car, everything regarding that was resolved, and your girl needed a little pick-me-up, so we went ahead and took ourselves to Disney World. My cousin and I do have passes, so we can come into the parks whenever we feel like it, and yeah, it was definitely needed. I needed to lift my spirits, and while I was in the park, the only thing I spent money on was for a funnel cake because I needed a little sweet treat. Next, we move into Thursday because Wednesday was once again another no spend day, and on this day we just went to the grocery store. So we started off at Walmart, and within this shop I did both toiletries and grocery shopping, so you will see the breakdown. And then after that we also stopped at Publix and picked up a few things there. And then after all that shopping, we rewarded ourselves with some lunch and then kicked back and watched Love Island for the rest of the night. All right, everyone, so we have made it to the end of the week, which is going to complete my tracking of a week's worth of spending. If you are unfamiliar with this part, basically this is me just writing down all of my spending and making sure that everything matches with my tracker that I have here on my laptop. This is a part of my budget template that you guys see me use all the time. So if you find this useful or find any of the other videos where I showcase them useful, the links for all of that is down in the description. And as always, thank you to anyone that purchases and has been enjoying the template. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, this is just the part where I quickly review and track my spending that you guys seen me do throughout the week. This normally takes only like 15-10 minutes depending on how much I spend, and honestly the more you do it, the faster it becomes. And I just find this really helpful to, again, track your money and know exactly where your spending is going. And when it comes to how I track my spending for the week, since I deal with cash, I do live by my receipts. So here I just keep a little bag where I keep all of my receipts for the week, and I can just go through this to document all of my spending that I've done. In terms of anything that I've bought online or on Amazon, that is just when I check my debit card or my credit card statements just to see where my spending went and make sure that I document everything and everything is lining up to where the numbers should be. And then I go ahead and check my wallet and make sure that the money that my template is saying I have left to spend matches with the money that I have remaining. So that's really the simplest explanation for the cash envelope system. It literally gives you a guide of how much you can spend, so you're never, wondering if you have enough for a certain category, and I just find it helpful. So if you also think that this system is good for you, then be sure to give it a try. But also, if I'm talking about my receipts, of course I have to give a shout out to Fetch. So if you don't have that app, it is an app I have been using, I think, for like 5 years now. And it's very simple. You just scan your receipts, and then those receipts turn into points. And then those points you can use for gift cards. I've used it for Dunkin' gift cards, Amazon gift cards, Best Buy gift cards. So be sure to check it out if you are not familiar with it. It is completely free, but I do have a code. And if you use my code, the first time you scan your receipt, you get 2,000 points and I get 2,000 points. So again, check it out if you feel like it's something that you would enjoy. But enough with the rambling. Now we are just going to go ahead and fill in all of my spending, as I said. So I will just go ahead, drop this in my tracker, and we will meet up once I finish putting all of my information in. Also, just wanted to mention that when it comes to me putting anything within my tracker and anything dealing with change, you will see that I either round up or round down based off of what I spent. I just don't like to deal with change, so that just makes it easier in terms of my tracker. So if you're wondering, that is what I do. All right, so now that everything has been filled in, all I do is go over here and look at my expense tracker. And I'm mainly focusing on this left to spend section, and I want to ensure that whatever the tracker says matches what I have within my cash dividers, because then I know that everything is in line. But if we do peek at the graph so far, and just to see how things are shaking out so far throughout the month, in terms of what I spend my money on, this is another graph I like to see. Right now it's looking like groceries is holding 50% of my spending, which makes sense as long as it's not like unnecessary things. I'm normally not concerned, but groceries seems to be, important. What I did notice as I was filling this out is that I was eating out a lot. I do have a Dunkin' obsession. If you aren't aware, I have a problem, so I do go there quite often, but I would like to slow down in terms of how much I am eating out. Just already at the start of this month at 13.6%. It's a little bit high, but yeah, so the graph isn't too bad. It's pretty telling to what I have been doing. So let's just go ahead and make sure, as I said, that this left to spend is matching. So I will just take out my cash dividers in my wallet and let us check. So the first category that we have here is gas, and looking at gas, it's saying I have 152 sitting. So I don't have a cash divider for gas because I did get my gas from Costco. It's looking like now that I'm living here in Florida, Sam's Club is like the new Costco. So it's kind of the same mentality. So I don't physically take the cash out for that, but I do like to look at the amount just to see what I'm left with. So the next thing that we can move on to is the category for spending. Here it's saying I should have $232 left. So looking at what is here, we have 100, 2, 20, 30, 31, 32. So that is correct. And that is just high specifically for a lot of events and things that I know are coming up. And I want to take all of that out of spending. Next, we can move on to groceries, and that should be 105. So within groceries, we have 50, 70, 90, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is correct. 105 for groceries, and that's pretty self-explanatory, so that should be good. Next, we have toiletries, and that would be 63. Here we have 50, 60, 1, 2, and 3, so that is correct. Next, it is clothing. That is showing to have 125. Looking at clothing, that's 50, 70, 90, 110, 120, 125. So again, that is also correct. And then lastly is eating out. That's showing 60 and 20, 40, 60. So again, that is correct as well. Now that all of my cash dividers are looking good once again and are verified, I will just go ahead and put that back in my wallet and do the same thing for the next upcoming week and track that to make sure that everything is in line. But honestly, you guys, when it comes to what I spend and how I track it, that is it. Hopefully you are still finding this method enjoyable. Let me know down in the comments below if this was helpful, if this is something that you want to try. Always love to hear your thoughts and how things are going. But as for today's video, you guys, that is all I have. I want to thank you all so much for watching, but I will catch you all next time in the next one. Bye, guys.